Hello everybody, my name is Harold Meyer. For those of you who are new, we do a Bible verse every single day, or sometimes this Bible verse is. But anyway, let's get to our Bible verse for today. Today's daily Bible verse is Matthew 6 and 26:38. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch over me." So yeah, sometimes we just overwhelm ourselves with sorrow, with pain, with all of this negativity. Whenever God's saying, "Look, there is a time for that, but right now," sometimes He says that the time it's time for us to relax, for us not to worry about the future, for us not to worry about the past. It's time for us to just relax. And friends, that's what these videos is all about. People relaxing and coming to know God. Because sometimes, don't get me wrong, it is interesting to say the least about what could happen or what might happen, or we just get overwhelmed. And listen, sometimes we just need each other. Sometimes the answer isn't for us, it's for others. And what do I mean by that? I mean that, like, sometimes we worry about what we could have done to help somebody, or what somebody else could have done to help us, or blah, 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 blah. It just keeps on going on and on. Whenever God's saying, "Look, it's time to just chill out, to just enjoy yourself." And that's what this video is all about, just chilling out and enjoying ourselves. Now, I know that, I could implement more scripture in my videos, and I could do this, that, or that, but I don't focus on what I could do so much as what I have done so far. So what does that mean? That means that, what I could do is I could do this, that, or the other, or I could change something else. But, yeah, so, we just need to be there for each other and not focus on what we could have done differently or what we should have done, but what we are doing right now sometimes. Don't get me wrong, it is good to ask questions and to be like, "God, how can I better serve you? What can I do better?" But sometimes the answer is just chill out and be you. Yeah, so a lot of us don't hear that, or it just seems like we ignore that piece of fact, or it just seems like the entire world's against this. I had this weird dream where they had this global storm, and man, did it get bad. But people came to know God. People came to understand God. And yeah, so, even in my dream, I was reaching people. Yeah, so, sometimes we just need each other. Sometimes we need to focus on what we have done instead of what we are to do. What do I mean by that? I mean that, like, focus on our victories instead of our defeats. Because let me tell you, if I stayed right here, I could tell y'all about a whole bunch of defeats I had. Probably about the day that this video goes live. I could tell y'all about some. Like in between the time of this video going live and this video being uploaded to YouTube. I could tell y'all some things. I could tell you about the sorrowness, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety. See, even right now I'm having anxiety. For those of you who are wondering, I have Tourette syndrome, which means that I have random muscle movements, especially whenever I get mad or anxious or depressed or basically feel any emotion a lot. Yeah, so, let me just drink my coffee. Yeah, so, we all need each other. All of us. Right now, we need each other right now. And how do we know for sure we need each other? Well, God tells us, quote, "I will be with you always, even until the end of the age." So we need him to the point where he's with us always. Or at least that's what you can infer from the reference. But yeah, so and how do we deal with that? Well, truth is, we need to be honest with ourselves and be like, God, how can you help me? Instead of worrying about, is he watching this? Ask him how can he help us. Because sometimes he can lead our addiction can become something that transforms people. That people can use to help out each other. I'm just keeping an eye on the timer right here. On the time right here. Because in a little while I have to wake up my little brother for school. But yeah. And listen, sometimes guys like, well, you should have done this, that, or the other better. Or why did you keep on doing this, that, or the other? Because we're not perfect. We're not. And it's okay to admit that. And, sometimes things just happen out of control. Sometimes, how should I put this? Sometimes, accidents happen out of our control. Like in my dream, for instance, I dreamed that we had a global. It was a bad storm, and then it knocked out It knocked out a bridge, and it was bad. And I dreamed, and God can use anything to reach people, I believe, including dreams. But why do dreams happen? Well, we don't always know. Sometimes that's, sometimes it's to help us realize things, I believe, or to help us go through like different things. Because, God, I believe that God can use anything to reach people, including dreams. I'm gonna give y'all my little example. So if y'all have any examples, please let me know in the comments below. Also, if y'all like this video, don't forget to like or comment or subscribe. I know I'm saying this kind of early, but listen, God loves you. He does. And listen, it can take a global catastrophe to make somebody realize how much God loves them. Or it can take an everyday event. It doesn't have to be a global catastrophe. But sometimes that's the only way people listen, is if it's global. And if it's not just them. Yeah, so, I don't know what else to say. I like to keep these videos kind of long, on the long side, because I like to reach people. I would like to do this live one day, but it's just my internet right now. Really, can I take that stress? Yeah, so please leave a like or comment below, or, also, I'm sorry I didn't do 2 gameplay videos yesterday. I only did 1 because, I slept a good chunk of the day. And I know I can make up a bunch of excuses. Really, I should have done it. And there was not really much of an excuse for me not to do it. For those of you who are wondering, I do gameplay video on PlayStation 2. I also do it on phones. And the one I'm referring to wasn't done on my phone. And I had another day where it was the opposite. It was done on my phone, but it wasn't done on my computer, on my PlayStation, because I record on my computer. But for those of you who are wondering, I currently have a PlayStation 2, and that's the only console I have. I also have a Mac, which I know sometimes I call a PC, but sometimes some people don't call it a PC. And for those of you who are wondering what's the difference, well, the difference is normally PCs don't run Mac, and Macs normally don't run operating systems that's made for PCs, like Linux or Windows. But I know that you can, have a PC that runs Windows, or have a Windows that runs a Mac. But yeah, so if y'all have any questions, let me know. I promise you I will respond to any questions, or I will make sure that somebody responds to it if I don't. Or yeah, so yeah, just keep me in your prayers. Keep my family in your prayers. Keep just help me make sure that I'm using these videos for the right purpose, which is to reach people and to reach and by the way, whenever I say reach people, I mean like reach people and like have them make sure that they know that there is a God out there that loves them. Because sometimes that's the only thing I can do is make sure that they know there's a guy out there that loves them, and it's up to them to follow me, to believe me or not. But listen, I have no reason to lie to you. Doing this, I'm actually losing money because of the fact that that's an expensive camera and that's an expensive mic. I know that I sort of just point out the camera whenever it's a mic, and mic whenever point at the camera. But listen, that's an expensive mic and that's an expensive camera, and I'm actually losing money. Believe it or not right now, because I don't have too many subscribers, I don't have too many views, I don't have all of this fancy, all of this fancy stuff. I don't even have, the most powerful Mac. I have an M1 Mac Mini. And for those of you who are wondering what's the most powerful Mac right now, well, to me that would be either the Mac Studio or what's it called? The Mac Studio for its price and compatibility. But if you really want to go high end, they got another Mac called the what's it called? I forgot what it's called, darn it. But I'm so sorry, guys. My memory's not just not there today. I could look it up, maybe. Let me see. What's it called? I'm talking about, and then let me explain something. I meant the like for the price. I meant the M1 Mac Studio M1 Mac. The Mac Studio. And I was talking about the Mac Pro. Yeah, Mac Pro. Mac Pro's probably the most expensive. The newest one is the Mac Studio. As y'all can tell by the word new right here. But yeah, so that's actually not a bad price right there. Yeah, so, how the same price as this. Yeah, so, just keep me in your prayers. Keep my family in your prayers, please. Because we all need it, especially now with this global pandemic going on. And with these wars and rumors of wars. And with these, Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back. Anyway, I would like to say a special prayer for the incident that happened on the New York with subway. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, there was I think there was a person that got arrested with injuring some people. I think he brought a gun or something to the subway. And he had like consumer grade fireworks and stuff. I don't know if he used, I don't think he used those on the subway, but anyway. We need to keep them in our prayers. Also, we need to keep the people from in Ukraine in our prayers, and the people in Russia, and just people in general, because it can be, God wants us to pray for one another. He doesn't want us to isolate ourselves. He doesn't want us to be negative all the time. He doesn't want us to focus on ourselves a lot of times. He wants us to focus on humanity and bettering it. And how do we better it? Well, there's an old Chinese saying that I believe can be that can apply to this, which is to change one's nation, you must first start with yourself. I know I'm oversummarizing it, but anyway, to me that means a lot. To me, if you want to change the world, you start with yourself. Sometimes, because sometimes we're addicted, and we can be addicted to something, then we can be an example to others whenever we quit that addiction. Like me, for instance, I like computers, or something might come along and be like, I like computers too much. Someday I might come along and be like, I like computers too much, and be like, how can I personally deal with that? And what can I do to better all of humanity? And sometimes I can be, well, maybe spend a little less time on a computer, spend a little more time on whatever else. Because I've been having some trouble sleeping, and I did some research, and it turns out it could be my computer usage that is making it difficult for me to sleep. And I'm sorry, I kind of just went off right there from New York to that's where the train shootings happened. I think it was shootings to bettering oneself and one's nation. Well, listen, there are a bunch of us right now who are sick, who need somebody to turn to, who are ill, and they might appear to be physically okay, but mentally they're not. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they can seem okay, but mentally they just want to destroy somebody, or they just want to tear somebody down, or they just want to harm somebody, because they might feel that they was wronged. They might feel like they was sorry, let me get back in the camera. Let me get back in the frame. They might feel like they was wrong. They might feel like they wasn't they're the ones that are wrong. Not us, but them. And they might be right with that. They might be wrong by that, but because sometimes people wrong each other, not because it's okay to do, but because they were wrong themselves. It's sort of like this circle. Like once you do something bad to somebody else does bad to somebody else, and it keeps on going. Well, I guess it's more like a line in a circle. And it can get worse or it can get better. And what do I mean by it can get better? I mean that people can take it and be like, you know what, maybe such and such is right. Maybe I am wrong with this. Maybe I did do wrong right here. Or some people might be like, you know what, such and such was dead wrong. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I'm gonna hurt somebody else. And because I feel that I was wronged. Or they might go to the person that wronged them and be like, you know what, forget you wronged me. we're not friends no more, and I hate you. Yeah, so, we just need to be there for one another, people. We need each other. As Christians and as fellow human beings, we need each other. And sometimes it takes courage to admit that we was wrong. Sometimes it takes courage to admit that we wasn't in the right. Sometimes it takes courage to admit that we're not okay. And listen, for those of you who are going through a hard time right now or having bad thoughts, I urge you to do three things: contact a pastor, contact a therapist, and contact a friend. And by friend, I don't mean the pastor or the therapist. I mean that's somebody else, because you don't pay to contact them twice, unless you feel led to. But what do I mean by contact a therapist and contact a pastor? I mean that, like, tell them what's going on in your life. Tell them that, hey, I'm not doing so good in this, that, or the other. Can you please help me? And tell them that, just admit that you were wrong. Sometimes that's all we can do is admit that we was wrong. Because it might be too late for us to apologize. Because the person that we apologize to might be dead. They might be, all of these other negative things. Yeah. So, and I'm sorry if, like, y'all hear any bad language in the background. There's not really much I can do about that, other than starting over. But you see, I'm not the only one that lives at the household. I live with my mom and dad, my little brother, and my a brother that's not that's like a few years younger than I am. But yeah, so sometimes that's all we can do is admit that we was wrong. Sometimes all we can admit is that we wasn't in the right, we wasn't doing the right thing, we wasn't and sometimes it can be overwhelming, which, to bring it back to our Bible verse, sometimes it can be like the world's against us. But sometimes, you know what, that's actually a good thing that the world's against us, because if the world was with us, then it's like if the world's with us, well, let me give you a reason why that's actually a good thing. Because the king of this world is the devil. That's who the king of this world is, the devil. And you want proof of that? Well, just look at how things are going. I mean, don't get me wrong. In some ways, it might actually be going good, but for others, it can be going horrible. Like, for example, the people in Russia right now, to them, everything might be going good, but to others, the people, and be like, you committed this, that, or that, or your country has done this, that, or the other. How can y'all say that? Well, to them, it might actually be going pretty good. Because, yeah, and I'm doing this video way ahead of time because I know that, I want to make sure that these videos start getting done faster. And I want to make sure that these videos actually start getting done, period. Because it takes a while to edit them and upload them. And it takes a while to edit them. Like I said earlier. I'm sorry, I just repeated myself. But anyway, that's what I feel like to say. I feel led to keep that in the video, so I'm going to keep that in the video. But yeah. I mean, we're all here for a purpose, right, people? I mean, and our purpose is not to tear each other down, it's not to destroy each other, it's not to do all of these negative things to one another. Our purpose, I believe our purpose as Christians is to have a relationship with God and to follow and trust Him in everything that we do. So I guess that's what our purpose is as Christians. Have a relationship with God and follow and trust Him in everything that we do. Or I guess that you could say that as straight too. Because follow and trust Him and that could be too. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, so yeah, so if y'all have any prayer requests, please let me know. I urge you to please contact me if y'all have any prayer requests, whether that be for yourself or for somebody else. I have a Facebook page. You can personally message me if you don't want others to see it. Also, I have a YouTube page, but that right now is under, like the comments right now, or, under a new experiment thing for YouTube. And the reason is because a lot of little kids watch it, and I don't want them to see people that have bad languages or that have a bad language, or you know. And I don't want it to seem like this is just for little kids, but I want it to seem like it's for everybody. So please, if you have bad language, just keep that out the comment. Like, if you want to use, like, the F word, or the, or OMG, or, WTF, or, any of those, like, please don't use that kind of language. Just please don't. Please keep it, tamed. And I understand, you know, sometimes God causes us to use language that we don't normally use, but to me that's just pushing it too far. And if y'all have anything like personal that y'all want me to that y'all want me to like, maybe like y'all want me to put in a video, let me know. Because maybe God's calling you to do something. Or maybe God is saying, you know, God might be calling you to reach somebody. Or to, God might be calling you to do this, that, or the other. Please do what God calling you to do, but please keep the language tamed. Because I will not put up with, if you want to get banned from the chat or the channel or whatever, or I'll see how to do that in a video. But please don't make me do that, because I don't want to ban anybody from chat. I don't want to report anybody for using incorrect language or using adult language. But I will. Please don't push me to do it though, because I don't like doing that, because but anyway, let's get back to the subject, which is, well, let me go back. Let me see, I can go back right here. Let me see, maybe it's in my history. Yeah, he said to them, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. stay here and keep watch over me. Yeah, so to me that can be he seems like he's suicidal. I don't know the whole story, but it seems like he's suicidal. And he's asking them to keep watch over him. So yeah, so sometimes we just need each other to watch ourselves to make sure that we don't do something foolish, that we don't do something terrible, that we don't hurt one another, that we don't cause pain to one another, that we don't do all of these horrible, horrible things to one another. Okay, I'm sorry, I just got distracted. Okay, so for those of you who are new, I have Tourette syndrome, which means that I have random muscle movements, and sometimes I can be to the point, it can get so bad to where I choose not to go to church, or I can get to the point of so bad to where I choose I want to leave church, not permanently, just temporarily, and just keep me in your prayers for that. Also, I have random muscle movements. Well, that goes with Tourette's, but that's what Tourette's is, random muscle movements. I meant to say also I have high blood pressure. And I've had a history of depression. Okay, so and I had this weird dream where like this I kind of talked about it earlier, but it took a global event. Just a massive storm came and basically destroyed, killed like thousands of people, and got to the point where a bridge was destroyed, and that caused me to go back to church. Which I don't know if that's to symbolize something that's heading my way that's going to completely and totally destroy me. But I pray for God for guidance. Because I know that dreams can mean things sometimes. And sometimes, we need one another. Sometimes we, just need somebody to talk to. Just need somebody to watch. Like I said earlier, said to them, watch. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch over me. Sometimes we need people to keep watch over us. Sometimes we need people to keep us in check. Sometimes we just need somebody. Whether that be, and look, I'm not saying that we need somebody for the sexual side of things. To me, that's the wrong reason to have somebody. Because if you're having somebody for that reason, then you don't really need them, you just want them for lust. And, yeah. So, we all need each other. All of us. I think that we all need each other. Look, let me highlight this verse again. For those of you who want to, why is it not? Okay, hold on. Okay, wait, what's going on? Okay. Is my button stuck, maybe? It's not letting me highlight it. Okay, so, sorry, little technical glitch. No, the button seems to be doing okay. Okay, so let me just say the verse of the day. Today's verse of the day. For those of you who want to look this up, it's Matthew 26:38. That's today's verse of the day, Matthew 26:38. And listen, for those of you who maybe have a different understanding of the Bible, or maybe for those of you who are be like, that's not correct, and might be an atheist, please let me know, whether that be in a video format or in a comment. And because I just want to grow as a person, and I want to better understand the Bible, and sometimes that takes somebody else's point of view to understand the Bible. But I want to grow as a person. And I am aware that to grow as a person, sometimes I need to do things that I might not like. Heck, whenever it says my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow, because sometimes as the soul does get overwhelmed with sorrow. Sometimes it can be like the entire world's against us. That's because it might be. I have no idea what's going on with my mouse button right now. But anyway, yeah, so we're going on for about 40 minutes right here. I'm gonna have to stop before it gets too long because it takes time to edit and upload. But listen, if God feels you led to say something, do it. If you feel led, but listen, be careful with what sometimes. Let me start over. Sometimes we misinterpret things, and be careful with what you're doing, because if it seems bad, it might actually be bad. But yeah. So just please keep everybody in your prayers. Because sometimes, for some people, it might be like our soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. And what does that mean? That means that sometimes we're overwhelmed with problems. Sometimes we're overwhelmed with things. Sometimes we're overwhelmed with all of these negative things. But listen, God doesn't want us to be overwhelmed. He wants us to be happy. He doesn't want us to be in pain. He wants us to be happy. And I pray, and I'd like to thank God for something that actually stepped good last night. Which I know that can be a rare thing, but I changed up some things, and I think that might be a reason why I did it. Like, I know that. Okay. Sorry if y'all heard that. That was just a little notification, but I don't think y'all heard that. But anyway, yeah, it's just a little notification for something that I changed, and I didn't change it back. But anyway, yeah, so just keep each other in your prayers and just pray for one another. Because sometimes that's all we can do is pray for one another. Bye, guys. Hey, guys, if y'all like this video and y'all want to share the word of God, y'all can like and subscribe and comment. And if y'all want to donate some money, we have a Patreon page. Now, the Patreon stuff starts at $3 a month, and it goes up to $25. And the reason why we do it monthly is because that gives us an idea of what we're going to be able to make, like, for the next month. Anyway, bye, guys.